From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, the Interior received a little shake, rattle, and roll to start the day.
That's right. Just before 11 a.m., the Alaska Earthquake Information Center recorded a magnitude 4.0 quake located 60 miles west of Fairbanks. The trembler was located 8 miles deep. Some residents said they could feel the ground shaking, while others didn't notice the earthquake at all. The Information Center says there have been no reports of damage in the interior.
With family members and friends on both sides attending, 35-year-old Nairobi Chandler today pleaded guilty to a single count of second-degree murder and consolidated counts of tampering with physical evidence. As part of a plea agreement, Chandler faces as much as 75 years in jail when he comes up for sentencing set for November 4th and 5th. Chandler and his attorney, Robert Norin, had made plans to use a diminished capacity defense had he gone to trial in the case, but those plans eventually fell through. State prosecutors say while under observation at Anchorage-based Alaska Psychiatric Institute, Chandler admitted to strangling his estranged girlfriend, 31-year-old Kaylin Bishop. Prosecutors say Bishop, a mother of young children, had been trying to leave a relationship with Chandler when she was killed.
The vehicle trunk clearly had been used to transport her body, and ultimately the defendant has recently admitted as much in the API reports, but he used the vehicle to transport and then dump her body. It appears that she was bound, given bruising around her wrists, and then dumped in the area where she was found. He used her cell phones, as noted, not only to lead police on a different track, claiming he told police himself that she had left with a mysterious man that morning, and was going off to Chena Hot Springs Road. All of that was proven false.
According to the United States Army, soldiers will begin to see fewer permanent change of stations, or PCS moves. The Army would like its enlisted soldiers to remain at their duty stations for at least 36 months, and career managers are attempting to aid in this mission. There are some exceptions, such as deployments, special needs families, and also some overseas duty stations. But with sequestration and reduction, this will help not only to reduce Army costs, but to stabilize families. Also, soldiers who choose to re-enlist and on follow-on assignments that are not priority will likely have to remain on the station a full 36 months prior to getting their location choice.
Senator Lisa Murkowski is trying to clear red tape delays for veterans receiving benefits from the Veterans Administration, Department of Defense, and Social Security Administration. Murkowski is co-sponsoring Senate Bill 674, also known as the Accountability for Veterans Act. The bill is designed to improve processing time and paperwork jams connected to requests for benefits. Currently, the Veterans Administration must wait a minimum of 60 days before following up on records requests to the DoD or the SSA. Follow-up emails take an additional 30 days. The legislation would require those offices to respond within 30 days. Murkowski says benefit delays cost veterans financially, and in rural Alaska, veterans already spend substantial amounts of money to travel just to receive benefits.
The expense is considerable, and then of course when you're in town, you have taxi, you have to rent a car, you have overnight accommodations, and so how we provide for those who are, we call them off the road system in Alaska, is a huge issue for us.
The 24-hour Relay for Life to raise money to fight cancer will start on Friday evening. The relay has been a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society since 1985 and was started in Fairbanks 10 years after that. The Survivors Walk kicks off the event with Friday evening with those who have or have had cancer during the first lap. There is a change of venue this year, with the track being set up near the Patty Center at UAF. The relay last year raised over $250,000.
Relay of Life for Fairbanks is a community event. It's all about our town. And what does that mean? Our town means home. It means patients getting better care and staying home for that care. The American Cancer Society provides programs, materials, all kinds of support to our cancer patients here in Fairbanks.
And when we come back, 4 Wainwright soldiers train on unmanned aerial vehicles.
And it's Wednesday, time to find out what's happening at Pioneer Park. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. An airman stationed at Eielson Air Force Base was killed June 2nd in an off-duty vehicle accident while in Hawaii. Air Force officials say Senior Airman Alan Bufala was assigned to the 354th Fighter Wing and was at Wheeler Army Field in Hawaii when the mishap occurred. He was deployed in 2011 to Afghanistan and was a nominee for the Lozano Award for the Most Outstanding Tactical Air Control Party Member. A memorial service will be held at Wheeler on June 10th.
Soldiers from Fort Wainwright trained last week to become certified in operating unmanned aerial vehicles. The news center was there and has more this evening in our military report. The Raven DDL is the Army's unmanned aircraft surveillance. This small aircraft is designed for rapid deployment and high mobility for military applications, requiring low-altitude surveillance and also reconnaissance intelligence.
What happens, we have with our antennas, we have an uplink and a downlink that goes through the aircraft and comes back down. At all times while we're flying is actually doing live recording of the actual air picture. And at the same time, the operator and the mission operator that controls the laptop and is watching the feeds has the ability to take pictures of anything that happens.
When operating these unmanned aircraft, there is a lot of information the soldiers use and compile.
There's a lot of information that comes at you as far as aircraft information goes. It tells me where my aircraft is, what it's doing, and what I'm actually looking at.
Its main feature is its ability to provide real-time photos and video behind the enemy lines without putting soldiers in the field at high risk.
With the Raven, when we've engaged targets on the battlefield with munitions such as depleted uranium, we don't want to send our soldiers into these areas because of the adverse effects of these munitions after the fact. We throw the aircraft in the air, fly it over, and get real-time imagery of what we've done on the battlefield, so that we don't have to send soldiers in to see what effect we've had on the target.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
About 720 people live in the Alaska coastal town of Skagway year-round. Come mid to late May, the population increases to about 10,000 people a day. That's because it's a port city and on the route of cruise lines visiting Alaska. Skagway is a historic site and offers a train ride up the White Pass for some incredible scenery and stories of Yukon and Alaska miners. For many who live in Skagway and other small towns of Alaska, summer business is what gets them through the winter. And one business owner says it's a pretty amazing city.
The way that we make it through the winters, and miraculously we can handle 10, 12,000 people that come up and down our boardwalks in the summer. It's amazing how we can go from one to the other so seamlessly.
Folk Fest is being held this weekend inside of Pioneer Park. We have more in today's What's Happening at Pioneer Park. Hello and welcome to another edition of What's Happening at Pioneer Park. Now, the summer season's in full swing. It's a beautiful day out. Everybody's enjoying the Pioneer Park and the weather. So this weekend there's a special festival happening. It's called Folk Fest. We're going to go talk to Lori Neufeld and find out what you can expect this Saturday here at the park. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Stephanie.
Great. So tell me a little bit about what people can expect this weekend at the Folk Fest.
June 8th, Saturday, we start music at 1 o'clock and encourage you to bring your friends and family down. Music all day long until 10 o'clock.
So we're talking music. What kind of music are we talking here?
Anywhere from Athabascan fiddling, Celtic music, blues, folk rock. We have it all here, and it's just back-to-back bands and some of your Fairbanks favorites and beyond.
So it's literally a little something for everybody.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about what else is going on. Is there going to be food or vendors or anything like that?
We have arts and crafts vendors, we have food vendors, and so you can bring your blankets and your lawn chairs down and make a day of it.
Great, and the sun never goes down, so everybody will make a day of it.
That's right, and it's free.
Yes, oh, free, that's great. All right, thank you so much, Lori.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks. This week's vendor spotlight is Charms by CJ, offering a variety of locally handcrafted jewelry. There's so much happening this weekend at Pioneer Park with Folk Fest, but before we go, we have a special trivia question for you to get a chance to win some prizes. There are 4 different pavilions located inside the park, each with a different color scheme. Now, you have to come to find out which color scheme Moose Creek Pavilion has and enter it at webcenter11.com for your chance to win some really neat prizes. All right, guys, so let's say it. That's what's happening this week at Pioneer Park. Those were two cute little kids, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I wonder who they were.
Hey, Joe.
How
you doing?
I'm doing well.
What do you got going in sports today?
Well, today, some big news coming out of the NAHL, and it affects your Fairbanks Ice Dogs, but it could be for the better. Don't miss that. Plus, we talked to some rookies who want to make their mark on the North Pole Speedway this season. That and more coming up. Hello, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here in the Sports Seat for you this evening, bringing you the sports news of the day. The NAHL draft is over, and the Ice Dogs will continue to prepare for not only a new season, but a new division and new-looking NAHL. In recent weeks, there has been a lot of movement in the league. The ownership group of the Wenatchee Wild relocated their NAHL membership to Hidalgo, Texas, and are now the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. The Town Toyota Center where the Wild played bought the logo and Wild name for the previous owner. David White, the owner and governor of the Fresno Monsters, relocated and reactivated the Monsters to Wenatchee. So basically, the Fresno Monsters turned into the Wenatchee Wild, and last year's Wild team are now the Killer Bees in Rio Grande. Easy. Also, the winningest coach in USA Hockey, Bliss Littler, will remain as the Wild head coach and retain his assistant coaches. Also, some new teams will be a part of the NAHL in the 2013-2014 season. The Minnesota Wilderness in Cloquet, Minnesota, and the Minnesota Magicians in Richfield in the previously mentioned Rio Grande Killer Bees. Now, how does this affect Fairbanks? The Ice Dogs will be in a new Midwest division featuring the Kenai Brown Bears, the Wilderness, the Magicians, Wenatchee, and the Cooley Region Chill. Now, get this, the town the Chill play in is called On Alaska in Wisconsin. So there could be 3 rivalries now for the Ice Dogs. Today we caught up with Ice Dogs General Manager Rob Proffitt and head coach Trevor Stewart by phone about the league changes.
I think it'll help with our recruiting tools back in the Midwest. Again, we kind of moved a little farther west the last few years, and it isn't our first time through this Midwest/Central division. We've been in there with the likes of Bismarck and Alexandria, Minnesota, and stuff in the past, so it's not like our first time through it. So I think there's nothing but positive all the way around. It'll be a nice geographical area to concentrate in. Transportation will be good, and then as well as exposing our guys to even more college hockey programs in that area and being in front of more college guys for more opportunities for scholarships.
Our division was definitely a skilled division and very competitive, and I think the South is a bigger division and maybe a little more rugged. I think that, whatever division we're in, we're going to be prepared for it.
And now we go to one of our racetracks. The North Pole Speedway had the track open last night for the rookies practice. It wasn't ideal conditions, of course, with the wet weather last night, but the rookies gave it a go in their Legends cars. Races will be on Thursdays and Saturdays at 7 this year at the farthest North Paved Speedway. The Rooks are getting in as much time as they can for the track this season, which is slated to start on June 6th if the weather holds up. For Jessica Eldridge, this is a new challenge coming off a successful 4-year bandos career. She was a 3-time champion. Austin Cody's dad, Ryan, raced last year at the Speedway and raced for 5 years back in Maine. Austin, a rising senior at CEC, says it wasn't just his idea to get on the track for the first time.
Mostly my dad, I guess. Just come out here and spend time with him. Do something fun. That's a new track for me, so everything's new.
Yeah, I was trying to teach him the points of the track, where to go into the corners and where to come up on the straightaways. And of course, yeah, it was wet. It was a little bit difficult, but I think it was still good practice for him.
They go faster. Legends go a lot faster than bandos. And I know the bando from, the top of my hand. Well, this is my first race in the Legends, so it's an all new story for me. And then last year I was bando, so it's a whole new different car.
And the Nanook volleyball team released their 2013-2014 schedule yesterday. First-year head coach Mallory Larinaga will be taking the Nanooks to Hawaii to start off the season. That's what I'm talking about. While on the island, they will play Brigham Young, Hawaii. Chaminade, Hawaii Pacific, and Hawaii Hilo. Back in Fairbanks on September 6th will be the 15th Nanac Classic featuring teams like Colorado Christian, Fresno Pacific, and Humboldt State. The Nanacs opened their GNAC slate with a home match on September 19th with Montana State Billings. The first of 2 encounters with the rival Sea Wolves will be October 12th in Fairbanks. The back end of the schedule will be a little tough. The Nanacs will be on the road for 5 of their last 7 matches. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVS Sports, just follow us on Twitter and get our mobile app. And you can watch us on YouTube and webcenter11.com. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you again for a look at weather. And had some showers around today, but they're slowly diminishing. In fact, you'll see just a little bit on the radar that we are losing a lot more moisture, and things are looking a lot better for the weekend. We were talking about that last night. We're looking at nice weather. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Our photograph night from one of our own, our Bree Heron that works here. She was down at Kodiak 1997, 34 for the overnight low in 2006. Sunrise and sunset, not quite 21 hours. We'll go over that tomorrow. That's a gain of 5 minutes from yesterday. And a flood advisory in effect until 5 p.m. tomorrow. Heavy rains over the uplands around the Tanana uplands have added to the rivers. This in turn will reflect into Salsha and Goodpasture rivers, causing steep rises into Thursday. So maybe some cabins might get flooded in this. You've got to keep that in mind. If you have something along that area, you might want to check it out. Okay, what's going on as far as our latest radar? The rains are moving out of the picture. They're slowly diminishing from the west, and on the satellite picture, you can see that also reflected as the moisture is being cut off to the west. Down to the south, things are not looking too bad. Elsewhere across the rest of the state, here's what it looks like. And you can see rain falling around the Juneau area, cloudy skies down to the south along the Aleutian chain, around Bethel, and then partly cloudy skies at Nome, some clouds up around the Barrow area, and partly cloudy skies at Fort Yukon, 61 degrees there. Lower 48 weather, things are quieting down nicely. We have once again some showers across the Central Plains around the Minneapolis area, thunderstorms around New Orleans and Dallas. On the satellite and radar, you can see a little bit of activity in the latter stages of the satellite start to develop and move across North Texas, but fortunately, it's keeping away from the Oklahoma City area. That's good. What is bad is we have a tropical storm, Andre, that is already developed and moving over the Florida Peninsula, expected to bring 5 to 8 inches of rain. In contrast, hot temperatures across much of California, over the 100-degree mark in much of the central sections of California. So all that weather being brought in once again by the jet stream way to the north, allowing all that hot air to come up from the south. Okay, what's going on for Alaska tomorrow for the northern sections? It looks like cloudy skies at Barrow, scattered showers for Nome and Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, once again, we'll see some scattered showers, as will Healy. Over southeast Alaska, we'll be looking at periods of rain for Juneau and Ketchikan. And out to the southwest, it looks like scattered clouds for Cold Bay and Bethel, with maybe some showers in the Kodiak Island area. Over the Anchorage Bowl and the Valdez area, not too bad. Lots of sunshine for all 3 areas, and temperatures starting to warm up a little bit, 63 for the high in Anchorage. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 47 degrees, cloudy skies, scattered showers into the morning hours. Tomorrow's forecast, warming up. We'll see once again some scattered showers throughout the day, then slowly diminishing because our 5-day outlook cuts off the rain on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and then maybe some showers again on Tuesday, and temperatures right around the 70-degree mark. Wouldn't be surprised to see them even a little warmer in the low 70s, and overnight lows again also rising to around the 50-degree mark by Monday. So all in all, even with the showers we've had today, which haven't been all that bad, things look like it's going to be really shaping up for a great weekend.
Okay, that sounds
Rain,
good.
rain, go away.
Yeah.
As long as the weekend is clear. It'd be nice.
It looks good. It looks good.
Bring June flowers. Right.
That's a common saying. Sure.
That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, reaction from Republicans after President Obama's appointment of Susan Rice as his national security advisor. Now that's next with Brian Williams.
If you see news or have a story idea, you can call our newsroom at 458-1830.
And we had lots of wind today, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The winds are out of the picture, but we were able to capture some of that today. We'll leave you with that, and we'll see you back here at 11.